everybody. Welcome to Shooting the Breeze Christmas episode with me, David.
And me.
And Michael. We are talking, first and foremost, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We are happy to join you on Christmas. We hope that you've had a good day so far and that you got all what you wanted. We're grateful for your support. And so these episodes, which we've done the last 4 days, have been such a wonder. Like, we've enjoyed them, recording these and talking about these Christmas episodes. And this episode, we are looking forward to this because this is the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, which is on Disney Plus, which is a funny, wonderful show that we are excited to talk about. So, here's the rundown. Rey leaves her friends to prepare for Life Day, aka Christmas. As she sets off on an adventure to gain a deeper knowledge of the Force, at a mysterious temple, she is hurled into a cross-timeline adventure. Will she make it back in time for Life Day, aka Christmas? One thing that you have to understand, if in this Lego Star Wars, is it is not canon, but it uses a lot of canon that they've done, and it's funny. A lot of the movies they visited every movie, not too much into each movie, but some they do really well, and others they just kind of glance into it, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So they do a really good job in this. So some of the things that we've enjoyed. The first thing, Rey's teaching Finn
in the Millennium Falcon, right?
Yes, about how to be a Jedi, with the lightsaber and with remote where it shoots
the little orb thing that flies around.
Mm-hmm. And that happens, and then she has to be like, she goes, okay, something's wrong because Finn isn't doing. It's not working.
It's not working. I feel bad. Am I a bad teacher?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and find out what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah. And then she goes to the library, and then she just sits there. She eventually sits there because she went through them all, and she's like, oh, I did this. Sits down, and then the Force comes in, knocks a book off, and then she goes to this temple where there's a key to go back in time to certain places in Star Wars.
Yep.
So her first place that she goes to was Luke and Yoda. Yoda teaching Luke about the Force.
Right.
So Luke's upside down, holding, and Yoda's on top of him. He goes, Master Yoda. This is Luke. Master Yoda. The blood is really starting to rush to my head. Then Yoda, concentrate, young Skywalker, concentrate. Then they fall, and then the X-Wing is falling in the water. And then Luke goes, you want me to lift my X-Wing out of the swamp with only the Force? All right, I'll try. Yoda, no, do or do not. There is no try. Luke, he tries, but he stops, and he says, but isn't trying like a good thing? And then Yoda's like, participation trophies for Jedi? There are not. And then Luke tries again to raise his X-Wing. And it's just like the Lego interpretation of that scene where Luke kind of points out like, but isn't trying a good thing? No, it's not a good thing because participation points are terrible.
Participation trophies, people.
And then Rey goes back out. Her and BB-8 are together. Goes back out. And then they go to, I think, the first scene in episode 1 of the movies. where they're in the Trade Federation, or one of the first scenes. So Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are waiting to talk to the Trade Federation. And the funniest part, I think, is like Obi-Wan just kind of sitting there in Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan is banging his head on the desk. He's like, "Board, board, 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 board. Who cares about a trade dispute?" And then Qui-Jin said, "Jedi do not seek adventure." Obi, "I understand it, but it's not very..." Then Qui-Gon's like, "Yes. Now this is more like it." Like, they jump up and like Obi is... This is more like it, but Qui-Gon has that Jedi stance, and then like Obi whips out his lightsaber, and like Obi's like this little kid, and he turns around and like it just makes it funny, and then Qui-Gon is always like, "Focus, Obi, focus, Obi-Wan." So it's just funny. Just like it kind of pokes fun at Star Wars, but it's
great. Yeah,
it's great. And then one of my other ones, like, okay, I put these down because I thought they were funny, and Mike did a lot of funny parts of later in the show. So when we were doing this pre-production, I was like, okay, what can I bring? Because he's done a lot of the funny, like the Sith funny parts.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, well, some of these first parts are pretty funny too. And so then Obi-Wan and Anakin are riding in an elevator in episode 2 to see Padme.
Yep.
And then Obi was like, "Focus, Anakin. I know you're eager to see Padme again, but we're on a mission." Anakin, "I am focused, Master," puts flowers behind his back. And Obi's like, "Follow my example. Be mindful, Anakin. A Jedi must have complete awareness of their surroundings." And Anakin in the back is just doing the mimicking, like,
blah, blah, blah,
you're
blah,
talking a lot. And so just those types of things were funny to just like the beginning part. And then after that, I think they see... Oh, she hops in. So the X-Wing in episode 4.
Yeah.
She hops in Luke's thing, and Luke's on the computer, like, trying to see, and she's like, use the Force, Luke. And then he uses the Force and all that same scene, and she leaves. Like, she's all excited. And then BB-8 says, "Hey, we need to go. We just need to go." She's like, "No, just one more spot. Just one more. Just one more." And then she goes to visit one more master and apprentice, which makes this show much more fun and much more interesting, because she goes and visits Palpatine and Lord Vader,
which is wonderful.
Which makes it funny.
It's so funny.
Much more funny. So much more fun.
I think it's more... It's just funny because it's evil dudes, right?
Yeah.
It's their take. And which, when I watch it, I almost sometimes feel like maybe I root for the Emperor, because he's just trying to be a righteous dude, rule the galaxy. Yeah. That's all he wants.
Yeah.
He just want to rule the galaxy.
And I know it's kind of funny, but at the same time, on a serious note, I was talking to my older brother, because he's kind of into Star Wars. He's into Star Wars. And I asked him about it. He's like, I don't know why they follow the Jedi. Jedi are actually kind of boring. And I'm like, what? He's like, I'm much more interested in Sith lore. I'm much more interested in learning more about the Sith. And then I read Darth Plagueis, or listened to Darth Plagueis. So if you want a book, go listen to or read some of the Star Wars books and do their Sith stuff. And my brother says they're much more interesting, because I think the straight shooter is really boring.
Yeah.
Like, Luke is boring.
Yeah.
Luke is a boring, even though he's a Jedi and he's this master Jedi, he's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like, he can't go crazy because he has to be that straight arrow.
Yeah.
But Leia can be crazy, or Leia could be a little weird. Han can be a little weird. and Chewie can be weird. All these people can be weird, but Luke can't. So it's like that hero is a little bit boring, a little bit more boring than the villain.
Yeah.
Because they're not. Like, they can really do whatever they want to do.
They can be crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. But, anyways.
Yeah, so, yes.
But they do, Palpatine and Lord Vader make this funny.
Yeah, so Palpatine, Lord Vader, Rey comes in, she sees them, what they're doing.
It's in Death Star 2.
Oh, right.
And the funny thing about the Death Star 2 is when you see the Death Star, each time you see it, something falls off.
Yeah, it's falling apart
it's
in
just
space.
So funny.
and just kind of what's going to happen is later, Palpatine gets his hands on this key, so he can go through time and space and all this, and Rey's following him, and she's following him, and he's following her, and they're going through all these different scenarios, and I mean, just the first one for me is Palpatine. Soon the rebels will arrive and fall into my trap. And this is her watching, and by the time they discover Death Star 2 is fully operational, it will be too late. They will be destroyed, and I shall rule the galaxy for eternity. I sense you disagree, Lord Vader. And Vader says, no, it's just Death Star 2 feels kind of derivative. Palpatine, when I suppose you have a better name? How about Star Killer Base? That's the stupidest name I've ever heard.
Star Killer Base.
Anywho, not sure you remembered, but it's Life Day. I got you something you're really gonna like. Ooh, gimme. Galaxy's best emperor? Of course I'm the galaxy's best emperor. I'm the galaxy's only emperor. Which I think is so funny.
So funny. And like, you love Palpatine's voice. Gimme. Like, he gets that deep, like, that deep, dark Sith voice, and you're just like, yes, you are Palpatine.
So selfish, you jerk.
And then, so they go through, and I think Rey and Vader.
Yep.
So Rey hurries up and goes through. So they see this, and Emperor throws the mug.
Right.
And then they hear Rey do the thing. And so she goes through the stuff like, oh my goodness. And then Palpatine sees it and he's like, ooh, what is this?
That's powerful.
Yeah. And then he throws Vader in.
Yep.
He throws the cup in, and then he throws Vader in, I think.
Yeah.
And then he pops out like Rey's like, oh, thank goodness. I would have unleashed Vader and all this stuff. And then you hear, what? And then they fight over this key, and then they spin, and I think it goes to Hoth. They fall on Hoth while they're fighting, and then the blow up, and then Vader comes through the wall with his stormtroopers in that classic scene on episode 5.
Yeah. And that's so fun because now it's two Vaders are in the room with Rey and Vader. We're gonna do a little role play. I'm gonna be Vader 1.
I'll do Stormtrooper.
Okay, and then
I'll do Vader 2 too. Like, okay. I'll do Stormtrooper and Vader 2.
And Vader 1 says, "What are you doing? Follow me."
But you're right there.
That's not me.
Sure, looks like you. Helmet, chest buttons, heavy breathing. We are invading the rebel base.
Forget the base. Stop the girl.
You dare contradict me? I'm in charge here.
No, I'm in charge.
Who do you think you are?
I'm you.
No, you're me. Stormtrooper, any idea what the protocol is here?
Impressive.
Most impressive.
You are me.
Destroy her. Lord Vader?
And then Vader. That was weird.
And so then the key spins, and then the real Vader drops through.
With Rey. And the other Vader stays there, and he's like, that was weird.
Come on.
And then they go. Oh, it's so good.
So funny.
I mean, the stormtroopers' confusion is so funny. Well, you got the buttons and the heavy breathing.
Then I love that protocol. What's protocol
Yeah, what's the
here?
protocol?
It's like no one has an idea what protocol
What
is.
the heck is going on?
And then after that, I think they go to episode 1 where the
Episode
pod
1,
racers.
Pod racers.
So then they go to the pod racers where it's Anakin and the other guy. They're close to the end, and then they spin, and then they go through, and then they go like the next scene is, clone troopers.
Yeah, they're
on
clones.
speed bikes or is it speed bike? What is it? It's those surface things.
Yeah,
I think they're speed bikes.
we'll go with that. Jake, correct us.
Yes. Jake.
Comment below on our stupidity.
Yes. And then Clone One. I'll read Clone One.
Okay.
Traffic duty, the worst.
Hey, I just thought that exact thing.
Sometimes it feels like we're the same person.
Pod
racers.
Don't see those every day.
It's both of us.
Jinx.
Oh, double jinx. And then they chase after him. Then they do the spin. And then I think they go to episode 9. And they go through. And then you just see the ships, like the ships at the end of the movie with the Siths. And then they go, like, they do a circle. And then they go through the circle. And, like, they do it over these black stormtroopers.
Oh, that's
or the color blacks. And then all of them fall but one. But then that one, a pod racer comes through and, like, grabs it with them. And then they end up, the next scene is Luke coming out of his Aunt Beru's and Uncle Owen's thing, seeing the two sons and drinking. Like, what's funny too of it, this one is he has a milk carton and it's the blue milk.
Yep.
And he's drinking it and just looking at, and then everybody falls down. And then the funny thing too is they got all these other Star Wars characters. So they have 3 ObiWans. They have 2 Han Solos, a young Han Solo and an old Han Solo. They have Darth Maul, which they don't really explain how they got Darth Maul, but they got Darth Maul, half of Darth Maul. And then, like, it all starts with the guy that Han shoots in the cafe in episode 4.
Right.
He's like, two solos? And he's like, who wants to shoot first? No, man, both of them shoot him, and then it all breaks loose, and then they start fighting. Then you see Darth Maul, half of Darth Maul, like, start whipping out his lightsaber, going around, and you're just like, oh, this would be so fun to watch. And then Luke comes over to see what's going on, and then Rey and Vader are fighting, and Luke with his blue milk like sees him. Like, Rey's like, Master Skywalker.
Right.
Vader goes, my son, these binary sons sure are hot.
That is so funny.
So funny.
Oh, I love that. My son, these binary sons sure are hot. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
it's
so funny. And then one of my favorite parts of that part too is when Luke, they're fighting, and so then Luke picks up the key. Yeah. Right?
Oh, that's right.
They see that Luke has the key. Like, they're coming after him. He's like, brave firm, no trespassing. Like, then it spins, and then they go to, I don't know where they go to.
Yeah, there were so many go-tos.
Yeah, it could be back to Palpatine. I think they went back to Palpatine.
It must be, because Palpatine does get the key soon.
He gets the key, and then
he goes off, and Rey gets stuck in the temple again.
And so it's like Palpatine so I think they go back to the temple. Yeah. And then Vader gets the key.
That's right.
And then Vader goes back.
And Rey is stuck in the temple.
Yeah, with young Luke.
Yep.
With young Luke. And then they go back. He gives it to Palpatine.
And Palpatine's like, oh, sweet, where can we go?
Yeah. Oh, let's go 30 years into the future. And so he goes 30 years in the future. And guess where he lands up? He lands up in a closet with Lord Vader. Him and Lord Vader are in a closet of Kylo Ren's.
Yep.
And this one is, so funny.
Kylo Ren. Oh, should we do another read off?
Yes.
I'll be Kylo Ren.
Okay.
/ Supreme Leader.
Yes.
And
I'll be General and
General. Okay.
Palpatine.
All right. So Kylo Ren, he's do a little dance, and he's dancing around with his shirt off.
Supreme Leader. We're prepared the ships to head to the pectoral locations, platoon locations across the midriff rim for the Navy. No, what? No, I'll come back later. And he's looking at these places.
He's looking at Kylo with his shirt off saying these things. It's so funny. Ooh. And then Palpatine and Vader in the closet watching, and Palpatine says, "Who is this kid? What does he mean, Supreme Leader? Is that above Emperor? Kind of sounds like it."
Yeah. And then Kylo's like, Grandpa!
Because he sees
Grandpa!
Oh, so good.
And then they talk,
yeah.
and then Palpatine comes and he says, "Let's get to me. Let's get to me. So I assume I now rule the galaxy for all eternity." And then I think there's some dialogue in between. And then Palpatine's like, "Well, okay, most of the galaxy, some of the galaxy, a lousy Tabian gas mine, anything." And it's like, no, you actually die.
Yeah, you actually get thrown down. And I love, because, he reveals that. And so the whole time, Palpatine is like, knows that Vader's going to betray him. Like, oh, man.
And then Palpatine asks, like, last question.
Would you ever, under any circumstance, betray your master? Like, say, throw him down a reactor shaft?
Kylo Ren. Reactor shaft. Then Then he does a flashback of cutting Snoke in half, and he's like, "No."
It's so great.
Funny, so funny.
I wanted to throw you down a reactor shaft, but I'll cut you in half.
And then they go to Palpatine. They go to the second Death Star, and then you see this Death Star, and then something falls off.
Yeah.
Palpatine. He calls the Emperor and his faithful second in command, the Supreme Leader.
I love how he has to. Okay, you got to know that you're second in command, even though your name is Supreme Leader.
And then he whips out a
It's a hierarchy
leader,
chart.
yes, just like Dwight would do, or Jim did.
Totally.
Jim did in the thing, and it's like, no, see. And then Kylo Ren goes, "Master, I'm unsure." Palpatine's like, "No, no. As you can see," and then he does a point to the Emperor, Supreme Leader.
Emperor is clearly above Supreme Leader. So great. Just I gotta make sure that you know I'm the ruler.
And then I think Vader's in here, and then he finally says, "Hey, like he goes, hey, we've picked up Luke Skywalker."
Right.
And then Palpatine's like, "Vader, go get Luke."
And then Kylo's like, that's the events that trigger him throwing you down into the reactor.
And then he's like, "Well, says something like how my new apprentice, you're my new apprentice, Kylo Ren." And then eventually Luke comes up, and then Kylo.
This is the new Luke. I mean the old Luke.
Yeah, the old Luke in Episode 6.
Yes.
And then Kylo takes it as, this is my master, so he fights him, and then Rey and Vader fight.
And then it's funny though, because Palpatine, when he first comes up, he says, this is he says something with that Kylo is his new apprentice, and Vader's like, "Wait, what?"
And then Vader has this like kind of conflict because he's like, well, these guys want to kill me, but you don't care about you want me dead.
You want me dead too.
So he's just like, I don't know. And then like Palpatine's like, no, go fight.
Yep.
And so they fight, and like Kylo's fighting Luke, and like Kylo goes, I hate you, kid. I don't even know you.
I don't even know who you are.
Then like Vader and Rey are fighting and all this stuff, and so it's like it's funny. And then one thing happens, like Rey gets an epiphany and says, "Oh, this is what I really needed to do." So Kylo went for the key,
right?
And they both went for the key, and then the key zooms past Kylo Ren to Rey, and he's like, "Oh, I should have seen this coming."
Yep.
Oh, just so funny. Like, this is funny, and then like she gets an epiphany from Yoda, and it's really Jedi masters are really more about relationships,
right?
Jedis and apprentices.
They're friends.
They're friends. And so she gets that. She goes back to her friends with Poe, Finn, and Chewbacca. And then they have this party and they have presents and all that stuff. And one of my favorite parts, too, is Lando. Lando's in it. And Agbar gets him a cape. Yep. Or gets him a present. And, and Lando's like, please be a cape. Please be a cape. Agbar goes, it's a wrap. And then like, oh, it's just funny. Like this episode, I know Mike watched the first holiday episode.
Yes, watched that
all the way through.
Oof, that was brutal.
What one would you recommend?
Oh, this one definitely. Lego Christmas. Holy moly!
This one, like,
so good.
I only watched like 10 minutes of the original holiday special. This one was so funny. So many good memories, so many like from the movies and all that stuff where they just kind of made fun of it, which is good. That's what Star Wars needs to do at times, is just laugh at itself and just have a fun time. And that's really what it was. It was just a really fun time watching a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I just want to mention two more things that I thought were real fun to watch when they were falling through the holes the key would create. Yeah. You get to see a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That one was fun. And
that was so
like
fun.
They both, it was Rey and Vader who stopped. And then like Rey's like, oh, so cute. And then I think, or she said, and then Vader's like, oh, so cute. So cute. And then like it's just a quick scene when the Mandalorian gets Baby Yoda. Yep. So yeah.
Yep. And they're with the killer the droid. The killer droid. And they're shooting. Yeah. It's just that little clip is just so perfect. Like,
They do the Mandalorian music. Yep. They do everything where you know where you're at. It's like, this is awesome.
We're a Mandalorian. Yeah. And then when eventually. Mm-hmm. Palpatine does get thrown down the reactor. And when he's going down, I think Vader throws the mug also of Emperor's greatest Emperor. Galaxy's best Emperor. And he gets it. And he's like, "Oh, that is cute. You know,
really thoughtful.
That's really thoughtful. You know, why have I been mean all the this is a leaf has changed. You know, I'm going to be a better Emperor."
And that takes me back to Robot Chicken. Yeah. When he falls down the reactor shaft and then he changes his mind. And it's so funny. It's like, because it's the evilest guy in the world. Evil in the galaxy. And he changes his mind to like, I need clarity. It's so funny.
I love it when he's falling in the reactor and there's those stormtroopers that are in there and he falls past them. You know, just that whole, that's just a little added thing that makes you go, the show's so good. Whoever puts these together, so amazing.
Yeah, and like, I think even with all the Star Wars Lego stuff, I think it's worth watching. Yep. Because I think they're just funny.
They're so
and funny. They just make, like, they really do make fun of Star Wars. Yep. But it's in a tasteful way. and it's really good for kids, and it's really good for you as a Star Wars fan just to watch it because they're just fun.
Yeah, and I'm glad you bring that up. For overall, I mean, it all has a point. And when Yoda comes and teaches Rey, and when he shows all the Padawans with their Jedi masters, that whole Rey, go back and just be a friend.
Yeah,
like that's really like that's what those people are. And even for Anakin, for me to see him and his master, just that connection that they had, and that they just were friends.
Yeah,
they were friends.
And like Yoda at the end, he was dressed like this snowman off of Santa Claus, or that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer old TV show. So it's just like they made this Christmas, and it does have that point. It's about relationships.
Yep.
And I think even though we saw the Sith Lord and Darth Vader, you saw the contrast between Anakin and Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, Yoda and Luke, where it's friends.
It's friends.
It's friends. It's those, or family.
Yep.
It's the relationship with family and friends that really matter. And that's what this season is about, to show others that you care.
Yep.
Because someone showed us that he cares about us, or they care about us. And that's definitely Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ, where they showed that they cared to come down and help us get back to where we want to get back to.
Yep.
And so I think that's the wonderful thing about, Star Wars is definitely related to things that of religious significance.
Yep.
And so we encourage you to watch the show.
Watch it.
Definitely encourage you to subscribe, rate, and give us a comment here at Crackers and Milk at Shooting the Breeze.
Shooting the Breeze.
But we're grateful that you joined us for Christmas. And we wish you a Merry Christmas. Thank you, and hope that you have a good Christmas and also a Happy New Year. All right, thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.